Hi everyone, it's Natalie here. So I know that I said I'm in a depth year, and I know that I also said that I was going to try and do my best to avoid adopting more decks because it feels like you're taking in a new friend and all of those kinds of things. But the truth of the matter is, I also said that if certain decks popped out that really struck me like, whoa, I really feel a need to work with that, which isn't always the case. Sometimes I just really like the artwork. Or sometimes I look at a deck and go, ooh, I just really like that one and I really want it. Or I'm curious about that one, I wonder what it's about. Or I've never, fill in the blank, right? Not all of them are ones where I immediately go, I see the use for that deck. I know exactly how I want to work with it, and I definitely want to work with it right now. But I did come across one the other day. So I don't know when it was. I think it was last week. I was watching a video by Shane of Shane in the Universe, and he brought up this deck, which I'm about to pull out. I've got it. It just arrived yesterday. I'm so excited. And I kind of just need to do this morning before I head off and do other tasks because I know that I'm going to want to take it with me and I want to integrate it into my work right away. Yeah, so I think we'll just flip it around. I think we'll flip it around. But yeah, I already cut it so that I could get in there. All right, we'll flip it around. Okay, so here it is. I flipped it over so that we don't need to, oh, look at that. Who knows, whatever that came into contact with. It arrived yesterday. This is just to keep the addresses hidden and secure. So pretty. Oh my gosh. So here's how Eric packaged the deck, and knowing me, I will find some kind of fun use for that piece of string because that's what I do. Love that little card. I bet this is his business card. It is. So here is our deck creator and artist. I'm not sure how he pronounces his name. I know it's Eric, but I think maybe it's Eric Maille. Oh, delightful. Absolutely delightful. Eric, I'll find you on Instagram when I go back there next time because I'm sure I will soon. Oh, and his handwritten note that he puts in with all of his decks, I can tell. I think he sent a similar one for Shane. So I love the brown paper. I think it's perfect. Here we go. And I probably will repurpose the brown paper too because that tends to be how I roll. Lots of journals filled with brown paper. So this is the Ink Witch Tarot deck. Given my love of ink, both on my body, which a lot of you don't even know about, because I keep it in some pretty inconspicuous places. Let's see. I didn't grab my bone folder and my handy dandy knives here for getting into the packaging. Actually, because of I don't want to mess up the plastic or scratch the box. Let's see. Yeah, I have a seam ripper. These are great if you're into sewing, or even if you're not. They're really inexpensive, but they give you an easy way into. As you can see, you make that one little hole, and you've got your way in, and it's an easy way not to destroy your deck. Little tip I learned from Queen Osset. Okay, so yeah, very securely wrapped in that plastic there. I think that one was Tom's. I'm not sure what he was doing with. I think he worked with fibers at one point in his studies. I'm loving the design. I have seen a full walkthrough of this deck, by the way, so this is not. I kind of know exactly what I'm stepping into here. So that makes getting your box open a little easier. I'm glad there's no plastic on the inside. There we go. So it's very straightforward and humble, and so is the price, my friends. I sound like I'm about to sell it. I'm not, but look at those backs. I love that so much for so many reasons. Oh my gosh. Love it. And it starts with a kitty as the Fool. I gotta sniff it. Ooh, it whiffs good. Oh, that's a nice whiff. Oh, love it. Okay. So I love immediately that there's a kitty. I love the illustrative style. And the kitties are mixed in with lots of other things, including owls. I mean, guys, kitty, cats, and owls. Hello. No, I'm just being silly, but I do love cats and owls. We know this. I love the key there. Beautiful magician. The cardstock is delightful. Very very slick, smooth, kind of like it's the kind that shuffles really easily, which I could tell from Shane's video. Again, when reading repeatedly all day long with clients, having cardstock that's easy to shuffle. I mean, it just, this, especially if you riffle and overhand, this kind is the best. So here's our High Priestess, which I also like. Who's the Queen in the chess set? Oh, I just realized two. Oh, and we have, I see what you did there. So we have the two pillars. We have Boaz and Joachim. Or Joachim. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I don't think I've ever heard anyone actually verbally pronounce that. The Empress and Emperor, who have some similarity. Again, I really love the illustrative style, the simplicity, the fact that they're directional as well means that as I'm reading with this deck, if you do something where you're doing multiple cards or some type of a tableau spread, especially if you, so I recently have started working with a tableau spread for major arcana. I'm not yet ready to work on it with clients, but it will be an offering at some point. But, kind of the way you would with Lenormand or TDM, or what's the other, Kipper, Sibylla, where there's directionality in a spread. It tells you, this would be not necessarily, in agreement, whereas this orientation, they're facing each other, facing away from each other. It's helpful. Love it. Hierophant. Beautiful. So simple and easy. And this beautiful Lover's card. Oh. It's stunning. Stunning. So sweet. So tender. Chariot with the two pussycats on the car. There is so much in that like interpretively that you can play with. Strength. That's just iconic. During the Vietnam War, the protesters gently putting flowers in all of the guns. There, there's no animosity here. There's just gentleness. The hermit crab. And I like the possibility if he retreats in and he comes out, the in and out quality of being a hermit. Love the Wheel of Fortune. Love it. Love the fact that the string is not yet cut, but when it does, woo. So as a fiber artist, that one was an immediate one. Then the Justice card. As a sort of social justice card, there's a lot here. There's so much here. The Hanged Man. This is one of the few cards in the deck where I really feel like I'm going to need to spend some time just thinking it through. Death. Love this one with the pomegranate. And the link between this card and the High Priestess in most other decks is a very going back into the womb, going back to the place of fertility, the transformation that we go through that leads us to an open heart, right? Or open womb, like openness of creativity and possibility. Beautiful. Oh, yeah. And this one as well, this temperance. Again, so much there. And the devil. And the snake. The Garden of Eden. There's so many ways that could be interpreted. And I love the parity between, it's the same two characters who are in love in both cards. So beautiful. The Tower. There's a political commentary existent in this deck, or extant in this deck, that I really also deeply appreciate. It's subtle. I think it's subtle. May not be as subtle to me as it is to others, but it's one I appreciate. We have the nuclear blasts in the desert and what that symbolizes for society, and where we go from here, and nothing's the same after that. The advent of this possibility, then all of the tarot connotations that we can have about what this means, right? The Star. Love that again. Driving down a winding road and then having the sign, that's the Moon. The choice of where he adds color in his illustration of each of these cards too is it really pops, I think. The Sun. Love with the whole solar system. This too also looks a lot like some of the composition that I've made as a fiber artist. I only saw that just now. I didn't see it initially, but yeah. Judgment with Anubis and the World Tree. It's a little nod to runes and Nordic tradition there. We have the Ace of Wands coming out of the hat, which I love. Again, the illustration's so beautiful. The Two of Wands. Planning and constructing. Yeah. 3. Little nod to the RWS. 4. Perfect. 5 of Wands. Oh, you ever seen a bunch of birds in a big battle over... Oh, yeah. With the squawking and the feathers. And I love this one with the little sparkles everywhere and the one turning its head. That victorious. Yeah. 7 of Wands. It looks like some kind of a little mousy or a mouse or a vole or some kind of a shrew or something teensy who's managed to just get away out of sight of this snake. Also, of course, it reminds me of my rats, so that I have a cat and a rat in the same, cats and rats in the same deck, or some cats and rodents makes me happy. Also snakes, because, I have a thing with snakes. 8 of Wands is marvelous. Yeah. 9 of Wands. A lot that you can work with in this composition. A lot. Also noticing like the change of that shadow and the shadow itself maybe being what attacks. Oh, is that a dog? Yeah, it's a dog. I like finding the softer side of creepy or threatening animals or legends. So like the legend of big black dogs as like you know, portents of evil or destruction, something I really love. So this stands out for me in that way. 9 of Wands totally fits. Page of Wands also fits. Love that. Love this Knight of Wands. Love, love, love this Knight of Wands. So, you know, we get the dude taking the selfie. That makes total sense to me. Queen of Wands. Beautiful fairy who's not taking any shit. King of Wands. Also love the composition. Oh, I just saw the salamander. There's all sorts of little hidden facets in these illustrations. I love them so much. Okay, and then we have Ace of Cups. Oh, I just saw the heart. That is the essence of cups. I love that. On an everyday level, that is the essence of cups. It's that warmth, and you know, you're holding the warmth and you bring it close to your body, close to your face, close to your mouth. You drink from it. That's marvelous. 2. That's so interesting. I'm so drawn. Like, I get that we're having a cup of coffee together. You know, it's contemporary. I'm drawn to this space in between and the difference between the 2 cups. Love that. 3 of Cups. Yeah. 4 of Cups. Yep. And he's given the side eye. Look at that. That's Marty giving the side eye. Woo-wee. Okay. Wow. That's a very specific take on that 5. I'm not sure how flexible that's going to be, but that's all right. It's specific. Yep. 6 of Cups. Little tea party. 7. Oh, yes. Yes. Wonderful interp. Yeah, I love that. Okay. Oh, yeah. 8 of Cups. Oh my gosh. Yep. Okay. 9. Yeah. Yep. And the 10. Oh, yes. Yeah, the simplicity is just so straightforward and specific. And yeah, I love this. It's so cute. Knight of Cups. Oh, he's so beautiful. Yeah, that's a total Knight of Cups card. If that comes up in a love reading, like, you know immediately what that means. You know who he is, the Queen of Cups. It's like mermaid meets Kuan Yin in a way, because of the turtle. I don't know. Like, I always think about the turtles when Kuan Yin's always riding on a turtle. King of Cups. Yeah. Yes. Look at that. That's just clever. That's just clever. Clever. Ace of Swords. Yeah, that is, that one's jam-packed, isn't it? That's, I'm going to need to sit with that one for a minute, because that one brings in some new stuff. For me, having a figure in the background with the sword in the foreground, and the implication that, you know, I'm the person holding that sword if I'm stepping into the card. You know, that is, that takes the ace in a different direction. Yeah. Wow. So not all of these I saw as closely. I was commenting pretty fervently on Shane's video when I was watching. So, wow, that 2 of Swords is very interesting. 3 of Swords equally. Like, there's some differences here that I really appreciate, actually, in interpretation. This one's more combative, like literally butting heads, which I appreciate. And then, you know, because it's not our usual 2 of Swords. So we're nodding at the RWS, but we're not like obedient to it, right? Or supplicating to it. the Three of Swords here too, you know, we're not actually seeing anybody's, you know, any of the narwhal's horns penetrating this bird. They might have been aiming or collaborating towards getting to that bird, but, you know, we can interpret whether that's a collaboration that could potentially wind up with a difficult, I mean, there's a lot of ways we can go with this. Thoughts that come together, ideas that others, you know, three people posit to get triangulation. I mean, there's so many possibilities, and this card kind of reminds me of the Marielle because of the bird and the three, you know, the three pointy things that are converging around it that aren't swords, but, you know, in this case they're like horns or antlers or, yeah. I love the cicada, especially this year because the cicadas are coming back. The idea that they rest underground and they come back up when it's time. Like they know instinctively when it's time to reemerge. But otherwise they just have time of being dormant. Love that. And the way that he's illustrated this, the focus is your eyes go immediately to that cicada and then they go up. Very clever. And then the Five of Swords, yeah. It's great. Six of Swords. Yeah. Oh, I see. He's rowing with the swords. For a second, I wondered if he'd been injured by one of them. Maybe, but I don't think that's the implication. Oh, there's a baby. I think that's a baby. But I like that, I feel like the gender is kind of open. Like this could be a person of either gender. It's not necessarily a woman or a man. Seven of Swords. Wow. It's like somebody's capitalizing on a weakness, capitalizing on a fault, literally finding a fault line and then kind of wedging into it and taking advantage through that. God, that's brilliant. It could be a verb. I mean, when you think about the analogy of like a verbal slight, woo. Eight of Swords. Yeah. Wow. I like the magic closet, you know, like the magic closet quality here. I forgot the real Eight of Swords for a second because I was so taken in by this image. Okay, Nine of Swords. Yeah. They're dangling, hanging over us from the ceiling, and I love this. Oh my God, I love this. Ten of Swords with a moth. I just think that's brilliant. The moth isn't necessarily dead, but definitely defeated and held in place, right? No, I guess that's a dead moth. Yeah, no, that would be it was just definitely dead. I still think it's a brilliant analogy. I still love it. Page of Swords, and it's soft. I mean, that's something you can create analogy from that is not going to be terrifying for, you know, for a client. Yeah, Page of Swords. Knight of Swords. Queen. I think this is Joan of Arc. We're looking at a Queen of Swords who can go into battle but is so stinking smart that her ability to, I mean, it's perfect. Her strategy, you know, prowess, all of it. Instinct, integrity. King of Swords. Beautiful. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. I love that we're planting a seed here. Two of Pentacles. Beautiful. Yes. Yes. Oh, I love it so much. It's like the Dragon of Smog, with his, Lord of the Rings that goes in and has all of the precious jewels and stuff. It's wonderful. 5 of Pentacles. Wow, that just landed. No pun intended, because we're looking at flies on the oranges. It's not easy for them to get into the fruit, but they can. They can and they will. 6, yeah. 7, there she is, hard at work. I love that. I love that. She's doing her fiber craft. And because she's stitching, she has to pause and look at where she is to see where she needs to go next. Close to an 8 of Pence, though. Oh, the 8 of Pence is hard at work. Yeah, there's a lot of tempering and metallurgy and wow. Then we get a 9 of Pentacles. This is an interesting dichotomy here in the 10. So the 9 and 10, here's what I think is clever, because we might associate them the other way, 9, 10. But that is not what we're seeing. Instead, what we get is we get this perfect castle, this dream possibility, but it's nighttime. It's not daytime. There's no rainbow. There's light from inside the castle, but it's isolated. I feel like what we have here in this 9 of Pentacles is, it's positive. There's nothing about it that's bad, but there's a shadow side, analogously, to having all of this wealth and perfection. It isolates one in a perfect garden all of our own, where it is hard to have empathy for others. It's hard to see past your own wealth. It's hard to see past your own circumstances in order to have enough empathy for anyone else, right? Which sometimes is how, that the woman in the garden of the 9 of Pentacles in an RWS traditionally is interpreted. But here, we're interpreting it a little differently. And I really appreciate that, because it's not about gender. It's not about a kept woman. It's about kept individuals who are kept and ruled by their wealth, right? Both positive and negative. And that then leaves interpretation either side of the card, for whatever comes after it. Sorry, I had a splinter, and instead of getting infected, it just formed a little blister, and then I managed to get the splinter out, but the blister's still healing anyway. Yeah, and then we have, here, we have a woman in daylight who's got her own money. Okay, you with me? She has her own money, her own wealth. She knows how to grow her own wealth and harvest it. And this suggests perhaps that she knows how to offer it as well, but that she acts autonomously, right? This is the 10 of Pentacles. It is not hoarding. We don't see that she has a lot of stuff. She's not disconnected from nature. I mean, it's instead of a very masculine view of money and society and the way society works, right? We tend to say kept woman, right, whose wealth may not necessarily be her own, but she's surrounded by beauty and flowers and life and whatever, and she has what she needs, but the hawk on her wrist suggests that, the blinders are on her, da-da-da-da-da. When you flip it and you put the castle by itself, and you think in terms of inherited wealth, and you think in terms of money that, there's just so much I see in this that is not, that I think offers a tremendous commentary. I love it. This is, among many other factors, what really sold the deck to me, personally. Among many, 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 many positive factors, many of which I've gone through, this one I feel is really intelligent. I appreciate too, this is a very masculine association. He's showing us how the masculine view of wealth, society, having it all, etc., entraps us, and showing us that a more feminine embracing of how to, you know, how to grow, how to share, how to remain in touch with nature. The fact that it doesn't all, you know, economy and so forth does not have to be a zero-sum game. You know, I don't have to have something, I don't have to see others not have something in order for me to have something, right? I feel like that's what he captures here. So there we are. We have the Page of Pentacles playing with his piggy bank. Just the tiniest hint of pink in there, suggestion of pink. Love the Knight of Pentacles. Love, 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 love. Queen of Pentacles. We've got the hairless cat. With the hairless, I think those are hairless kittens. Kind of wonderful. A little gross and grotesque. And wonderful. And then we have the King of Pentacles. Yeah, got it all. Knows how to play it, etc. So there we go, everybody. I love this deck so much. I do want to give it just a quick shuffle. I know it's going to shuffle like a dream. There's no guidebook yet. I know that Eric is working on, oh, look at that, action. That's going to be soft and sweet. That one's going to hold up for a long time very, very well. Look at that. So if we just pull out some cards to see how they all look. Look at that. So the subtleties. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. See? Ooh, look at that contrast. The yellow pops, the red pops, the bluey tones pop. I hope those are coming across. Look at that with the blue and that moth, and that becomes blue here. And then that becomes more purple. I mean, the colors all kind of play off of one another a little bit. It's so subtle and so well done. Yeah. So I'm very excited about reading with this deck, dude. Eric, you've done an amazing job. Well done. And God, you should be illustrating artwork, you know, or illustrating things everywhere. I hope you do. Yeah, this is great. I'm so excited to work with this deck. So this one's going into immediate use this month. It is Pride Month. This will be a great deck anytime. You know, I feel like the Numinous is too, but this one to me feels like a great Pride Month deck. Again, it's still a really reasonably priced deck. Very reasonable given the way the costs have been going up with printing and so on. So I'm excited. All right. Take care, everybody, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.